G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. Hope you're ready for another Milk Punch Monday! Because that's what's happening, and I find as I make this Milk Punch Monday coincides with Rum Day, which is weird because there's already been a Rum Day recently. Turns out that at different parts of the world they declare the same day for things on different days, but rum deserves at least 2 days a year. Rum's awesome. And so this is going to be a rum-based milk punch or a milk clarified rum cocktail. And thinking through all the huge range of possibilities rum offers, I thought take advantage of two of the key things milk clarification does. One is tone down flavors a little bit, soften the edges of flavors. Two is just make a murky drink look really clear. So I decided to go all out, and today we're going to do a milk clarified zombie. I think most people who are into cocktails would have at least heard of a zombie. They know there's a cocktail called a zombie, even if they haven't actually had one themselves. And there are variations in recipes, but broadly, a zombie is a bunch of rums and a bunch of juices. And honestly, I think that's all the recipe you need. Put as many rums and the volume that you like. But I'm gonna more or less follow one of the recipes I found online. This was at the Punch Drink website. And most zombie recipes will have at least 3 sorts of rum. I shall be putting 3 sorts of rum and some extras in this one. So let's start making our zombie. Of the 3 rums you use, at least one should be overproof, preferably 151 proof if you've got it. But look, within that, I'm honestly a believer in use rums you like. You'll see people say you should use a Jamaican rum and a Puerto Rican rum. When you're throwing this much stuff together, I am actually very dubious about people being able to taste subtle differences, but just use rums that you like. So I'm doing a mix of stuff from my collection, and starting off I'm going to use Puerto Rican, which is actually from neither of those places. It is, I was just double checking, I thought it was a Nicaraguan rum. Famously they don't add sugar. A lot of rum purists like this. Personally I don't mind if a rum has added sugar as long as I like it, although some very crappy rums have sugar added to try and cover it, but some good ones have sugar as well. Again, a good rum is one you like. This is one I like from the collection. I'm going to start with 45 mils, 1.5 ounces of the Puerto Rican 7 year. The next rum I'm going to add is this Cuban Rum, Santísima Trinidad. It's actually a 15-year-old rum. Don't worry, I bought it on special. Some people might think it's slightly sacrilegious to throw this into a zombie, but it's got a fair bit of character and a nice taste, so it's going to hold its own in there, I think. And it's going to be the same amount, 45 mils, 1.5 ounces of this Cuban rum. For the overproof rum, coming all the way back to Australia, this is from the Beanley Distillery in Queensland. Their Inner Circle cask strength rum. This is indeed 75.9% or over 151 proof pot still rum. A lot of character in this one. I'm going to put slightly less in. There will be just 1 ounce or 30 mils of overproof rum. Now we're getting into more free-forming. The recipe I was following was based on Don the Beachcomber's recipe, classic tiki recipe, and he had a custom mix he called Don's Mix, and there are people who've deciphered what's in that. I think it tends to be grapefruit-based. Something with a bit of flavour, just to mix things up. This is me free-forming. I'm going to put a little bit of pimento dram, also known as allspice dram. A lot of very strong flavours from the allspice. You get lots of the cinnamon and clove and similar type island spice flavours. A little goes a long way. I'm just going to add 1/2 ounce or 15 mils of pimento dram. I am going to add the same amount of falernum. This particular falernum is new to me from Bitter Truth, same makers who made that pimento dram. I've previously always used John D. Taylor's Velvet Falernum, the original falernum. And when I used up the last bottle, the one place I know locally where I can get it didn't have it in stock, and they did actually recommend this. They said they actually prefer this to the John D. Taylor. It, by all accounts, is different. It's in the same general area, but what do they say it is? They don't actually tell me much. Great. That was excellent informing of the people, Angry. But yes, I'm going to use this one, the Bitter Truth Golden Falernum, and the same amount as the pimento dram, just 1/2 ounce, 15 mils. I'm also going to add some lime juice. This is some I squeezed earlier. I'm going to do 3/4 of an ounce. It's about 22.5 mils of lime juice. The recipe I'm following calls for a small amount of grenadine. This is my homemade grenadine. Pretty easy, 50% pomegranate juice, 50% sugar. You can put orange blossom water, or some people put orange curacao in it as well, which in fact I did, but you can make a very simple version. It's nice and tasty. It calls for 7.5 mils, like 1/4 of an ounce. With all that rum, I'm not sure you're even going to notice this is in here, but what the hey, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to do about 1/4 of an ounce or 7.5 mils of my little homemade pomegranate syrup. Another couple of small touches to round things out. This one I think will taste, even though it's only a small amount. Calls for 2 dashes of absinthe, and little absinthe goes a long ways. 2 dashes is a very imprecise measure. I figure that's around about half a bar spoon. It's like around 2.5 mils. But you know, I'm going to measure it with a spoon. You can just splash a little bit in. Might go overboard, who knows. But yeah, the recipe just calls for the smallest amount, 2 dashes of absinthe. The final touch is just 1 dash of Angostura bitters, according to the recipe. This is another one, honestly, I think with everything else in there, 1 dash of Ango, are you going to notice it? I don't know, but I'm going to put it in because I'm not slavishly following a recipe, but I'm pretty much following it. So we're finishing off now with 1 dash of Angostura bitters. That combo actually makes for a pretty murky drink, and secret, that's why most tiki drinks are served in those opaque tiki mugs, because they don't look very nice with all the juices and rums that are in most of them. But I'm going to make this look nice because you're going to milk clarify it. So I'm going to add this. You want the ratio of your drink to milk to be 4:1, and you add your drink to the milk, not the other way around. If you've never seen me make one of these before, these things are all important. So I'm adding this to milk. You can use anything with fat content actually. I'm using what's actually a mix, a little bit of homemade cream of coconut I have left mixed with milk. It's about 50-50 cream of coconut and milk, because I had this tiny bit of cream of coconut left and I thought, ooh, a bit of coconut flavor won't go astray as well. So you add the drink to that, it curdles the milk or the milk type product almost straight away. Leave it for a few minutes just to really get the action happening, and then you want to strain it through. I just use a paper coffee filter, and you want to let a bit run through because it's the curds that do the heavy lifting with the clarification, not the paper coffee filter. It's actually really just holding the curds. Curds need a while to settle, so you let some of the drink run through for a couple of minutes, and then pour that back through, and you'll get a nice clear result. Or you can even just pour the whole thing through more than once, but it takes a while. Depending on the volume you're making, it can take anywhere from half an hour to several hours to completely clarify, but it's worth it because you get a great result. And this is the end result. Beautiful light amber colored, gone from that really opaque and murky brown to just this beautiful amber. I've put a couple chunks of my, it's mostly clear ice. It's actually a less than perfect batch and experiment I did, but still looks good, and I get to use my cut glass tiki goblet to show off just how beautiful it is. But what's the big one? What does it taste like? Oh, you cannot mistake the character of those rums. It's because I've used a bunch of really strong flavors in this one. This still has a lot of character. Sometimes when you milk clarify a drink, it can take too much of an edge off the flavor, and it can actually be a little bland. Like I always say, milk clarifying is always interesting. It isn't always better. But this one, because I used such strong flavors, some pretty bold rums, but also the pimento dram in particular has a lot of flavors in there, the Velvet Falernum, and oof. You're not going to forget this as a reasonable alcohol content, but my wordy, it goes down smooth, which is of course both a good and a bad thing, because there is, as they say in the trades, a metric shit ton of alcohol in this, and it definitely tastes like alcohol, but it also tastes light and sweet and smooth, and you can make a big mistake of having more than one of these. Definitely definitely don't have more than one of these because it will sneak up on you with a big smile on its face and then hit you across the back of the head with a pillowcase full of door handles. I read that somewhere that was a thing that you could attack someone with. I read some strange things. Anyway, that is, for Rum Day, Milk Clarified Zombie. A big success as far as I'm concerned, because the Zombie can be a beast of a drink. This makes it much more manageable. Now I just have to remember, as I said, don't have too many of them. Don't drink it too fast, because, well, you know, moderation in all things. But have a good time, but, you know, don't wipe yourself out is what I'm saying, because it's tempting in these days with all the stresses of COVID and lockdowns, depending where you are. But, you know, pace yourself, look after yourself, and, you know, look after people around you as well. And I'm going to enjoy this. I hope you enjoy whatever it is you're doing, and I hope to see you again soon. But until I do see you again, cheers.